Hello friends, I'm Fench. We hear all the time that electric cars are cheaper to run, but are they really? Today we'll find out. For this comparison, we first have my Tesla Model 3 Performance, and then we have my girlfriend's VW Golf 1.5 eTSI. This Golf is arguably one of the most efficient petrol cars I've ever driven. I've once even hyper-miled it down to just 3.4 litres per 100 kilometres. But what happens when we put it head-to-head against a 500 horsepower electric car? Well, let's find out in this episode of Electric versus Petrol. The idea is that we drive the same route at the same speeds. My girlfriend will drive in front and I will follow behind in the Tesla. The drive will be a little more than an hour, with a mix of city, country and highway driving. We will then compare the results by calculating each car's cost per 100 kilometres. Obviously, this will just be a fun comparison of fuel cost based on our driving style as well as terrain and temperature, so results may differ from your region. Oh, and wouldn't you know it? The autopilot has again decided that this 100 kph zone is only 50, so it won't allow me to set the speed to higher than 60. What a great system. I mean, not even the slightest bit annoying. I can't wait for some long road trips with this on. After 19 kilometres drive, we're at 119 watt-hours per kilometre. We did drive through a couple of small villages, but still, 119. That is very impressive. After 4 more kilometres of city driving, our average has dropped even lower, to now 117 watt-hours per kilometre. Since we pay roughly 31 euro cent per kilowatt hour, that's roughly 363 euros per 100 kilometres. To put that into perspective, the highly efficient Golf in front of us so far averaged 4.7 litres per 100 kilometres. With today's fuel cost of 170 euros per litre, that would equal 8 euros, roughly 2.5 times as much as the Tesla. Let's see if some highway driving at 130 kph can even things out. By the way, after some help from you guys in the comments, we managed to figure out one of the issues I had with the autopilot. It seems that if I have autopilot with one-click activation, then it shuts off completely upon lane changing. But if it is set to double-click, then it will still deactivate, but keep the adaptive cruise control active. For some reason, this just isn't mentioned anywhere, but I'm happy to have figured it out with some help from you guys, so thank you for that.
Waiting for the song. Waiting for the song.
After another 30 kilometres with 25 of them on the Autobahn, the average consumption is up to 157 watt-hours. Still, that is very respectable for a car like this. 10 some kilometres more and we're nearly back home again. Our consumption didn't move much since last time. For the last 67 kilometres, the Model 3 Performance has a combined average of 155 watt-hours per kilometre. In money's worth, that means it only cost me 4.8 euros to drive 100 kilometres. If that isn't impressive, then I really don't know what is. Now let's see what the Golf managed to do. And the Golf shows 5.2 litres per 100 kilometres. In any other comparison, these would also be impressive numbers, but it's still nearly double as much as the Tesla. Wow, that is really something. I honestly didn't expect the cost of the Tesla to be that much lower. Obviously the Tesla has other costs such as big expensive tyres, but still, there's no denying that electric cars can be significantly cheaper to drive than the petrol or even diesel counterparts. I think what you all want to see though is the performance against the Model 3 long range. Don't worry though, it's coming soon. Within the next couple of weeks I should hopefully be able to do a similar test, as well as compare the high-speed acceleration as we go for some Autobahn runs. If that's something you're interested in watching, make sure you're subscribed. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, as I do try and get back to everyone writing me, at least as long as the amount of comments is still manageable. Alright guys, that's it for this time. Hope you enjoyed the video and hopefully I'll see you again in the next one.